What up, guys? I hope you guys are ready for Monday. I'm not sure we're gonna have a bad day on Monday or not, because with the technical and the data right now, it's unconclusive, as I could say. So at this point, I want to just tell you, this virus thing is has been developing, and we at this point, and I got these chart in the afternoon, so we have new cases in Rhode Island now, but this just trace over back to Italy, so that's fine. But this right here is the most important. It's over, I think, started yesterday. This guy who had a virus, he died from it, and he only 50 years old. That's not that old at all. So that's one thing. And then they couldn't trace him. So he been having this. I think if at this point I could say at least 3 weeks, because based on this virus is that it could be incubating from 3 to 27 days in the body. So I'm just gonna maybe it would incubate in him for a week and a half or 2 weeks. So that may be like just say 10 days, and then he could be in the hospital for him to die. That's probably another week. So we looking around. He has been having this for at least 2 to 3 weeks. So the past 2 weeks, he might be spreading this shit all over Washington State. So at this point right now, those who are infected might go into that incubation period also. So you're looking for another like 2 3 weeks from now, where a bigger cases that gonna come out from this infection. So at this point, for the long play right now, I mean, if the stock market is based on just the virus itself, I think 2 3 weeks from now, we should see some really really bad news from the United States. Okay, so that's one thing. And Inland have 12 more new cases, and people on the West Coast right now, I believe this is from Reuters. This is all CNBC. Okay, I borrowed from them. I hope I don't get copyrighted here. And this from CN, and this is from Reuters. And people are buying stuff now. They panic. So if you haven't done anything, I think you should have some kind of food ready, like maybe 2 weeks water and food, just in case, if things do get out of hand. So be prepared. Okay, so don't just wait for the status quo. Okay, so that's what I want you guys to do. Okay, get ready, but don't be too crazily panic and hoard stuff. Okay. All right, so basically, yeah, this is crazy. The count, you could watch this on YouTube Live. Okay, 2 weeks ago there was only 2 row, and this week they just added in this two more row. Is crazy. And things just trying to it's like a race to the top now. To beat China. Uh, we'll see what happened, but at this point, you know, Korea, Italy, Iran. Like last week, it wasn't even in the first row. Actually, it might for Korea, but it pop up, and it's crazy. So look at this. The spread of this and the contagion is really crazy. If you understand this virus, that is not is around 3 to 6 at this point, and that's why the case could double within 4 to 6 days. Depend how the contagious is and how big the people are. So at this point, this is something you could watch. This is gonna dictate the market, I believe, how everything is. All right. So let take a look. Okay, so basically on Friday, this is where we close. Okay, so the Dow was down like 1,000 point, and then by the end of the day, it kind of like came back at this point, and the Nasdaq went positive. So there was a lot of buying, and they kind of like basically pumping, like the pump. The Trump administration came out and kind of pump up the stock market. There's some rate cut, and they're trying to get other nations to join this. So basically they did like everything they could on Friday to boost up the market, because it could have been a bloodbath. And if it was a bloodbath on Friday, it's probably continue on Monday today. But they did a fairly good job controlling the market on Friday. So at this point, I think that's good. Since a lot of people positioned for an up move, a bounce here, as you can see on the chart. I'm gonna go show you. Okay. All right, so this is the down chart. This is a weekly down chart, as you could see here. It, the down is fairly strong. It's not that strong, okay, but it's fairly decent. It broke out of this range, after they announced that rate cut and then the ripple thing, So, the downs break out of this range and then move up. But this last week, it just crashing down. It went through this support right here like butter, and it did. See, this is the thing right here. It's bounced off right here. This is a minor support, and it's kind of bounced off on here, and it's a decent bounce. And look at the volume. Every time you look at these things, you want to assess it, by the volume. This volume is massive compared to this over here. This is a late 2018, where the market went crazy. Yep. And when I think Jerome Powell tried to increase the rate, and this is what happened here, but the volume wasn't as much, so you could see here, okay. And then that's the Dow Jones, and then we have the Nasdaq. I think has the strongest chart here. This is also a weekly chart. It's broke out of this range here, and once a resistance got broken out, it's become support, so it went directly back here and support and bounce off, and based on on Friday it become positive, okay. And also the 50 days moving average here, that also is support. And at this point, everybody kind of positioned for this bounce on Monday. It seemed like. And this is the Russell index. I think this is the weakest one at this point. This is the small cap stock, American stock right here. And this, I think, might be, if this break down under the 200-day moving average, it wasn't able to break through on the first place here up this range. And then it put in a lower high, and then it just, crashing down at this point to this minor support level and the 200-day moving average right here. So at this point, if the Russell break through this under, I think it might be somewhat, foretell. It's maybe a leading indicator here, possible, if it's break under this. And I think everything is based on to the news of the virus at this point. If we have no cure for this and things start to break out in the West Coast, and worse if it happened in New York, which I believe it will. Because to be sidetrack here, but like a lot of people left Wuhan and came to New York before the lockdown, and that's the thing. And if they did not leave Wuhan, they left to different area in Southeast Asia, to like Thailand, and they fly over to North America. So at this point right now, it's been 2 to 3 weeks lag already from the shutdown. So at this point, I think cases should be start popping up in New York. And right now, I'm not sure because they haven't tested anyone. The CDC only tested like 500 people compared to Korea. They already tested more than 50,000 people. See how like incompetent this shit is, and they really don't care about this stuff. I don't know what the excuse is. They say that the test kit doesn't work and stuff, but at this point right now, it seems like somebody is not doing their part right here. And this thing, if it's get out of control in New York, it's going to be bad. All right. So this, okay, just get back to the S&P here. So this, I really like the S&P. I usually chart the S&P. Okay. So they did break out of the range at this point, and then, move up. And now it's not as strong as the Nasdaq, but, it did bounce right here at the 50 days moving average. Okay. And look at that volume also. Okay, so look at the volume. See, compare this to this late 2018. This volume is massive. A lot of people basically buy in. So this week right here, saying that people are buying in. Okay, so just so you know, this is a long weekly chart of the S&P. Okay, so this is the daily chart. So this make it clear. Okay, so basically this is Friday here, as you can see. It went down here. Close to this is like nearly 100% retrace here. That's like 99% retrace from the top of this range at this point, and then it's bound. So at this point right now, if you look at this, I would say, to be honest, we would bounce on Monday. Okay, I don't think it's gonna be a Black Monday where the down gonna be like, not Black Monday. Yeah, it's Black Monday where the down gonna like drop 20% in 1987. I don't think it's gonna happen. If there are bad news coming out, it might drag down a little bit, and then I think it's gonna bounce. To be honest, I am fairly confident in some way. So that's the thing right here, because right now we have one dead. Things are kind of like starting on the West Coast, but like I think a lot of investors already position themselves for the bounce here on Friday. So I think it's unless we have something overnight that are really bad, and then maybe we're gonna go lower and break this level. Okay, so at this point, I don't think it's gonna happen on Monday. I don't think it's gonna be a Black Monday. Okay, and if we do break this level right here, I mean the next level is a 200 moving average. Actually, the next level is right here, and then right here, and then if we do break this, we're gonna go down to here. All right, the low of 2018. Okay, so that's some levels you have to watch here. But at this point, to be honest, I think based on this candle right here with that massive buying volume back, that means a lot of investors are or position themselves for a bounce on Monday. So like I say, unless tonight they're gonna announce a first case, or tomorrow morning they announce a first case in New York, community spread, then I think it's gonna be the Dow I think the market gonna drop. But at this point, if it go down, I think it's gonna be bouncing off, and it go down in the morning. Anything it go down in the morning, and it maybe bounce go down. If it's really bad, it's gonna go down to this point and then bounce off again. But I don't think it's gonna break this level for now yet, because the news at this point I don't think is that bad yet. Okay, but I think 2-3 weeks from now we might have a big sell off. So at this point right now, if anything, the first bounce, if we're gonna play this, the 200-day moving average is possibly where it's gonna be the first, where it's gonna bounce to. Okay, and or this level. So this is one, and then this level right here, I think if we have really strong, like maybe they say the vaccine is coming a good move, and then the Gillette, one of the Remdesivir, one of the drug that they're testing right now has good effect, it might bounce up all the way up to this level 3200. But at this point, the vaccine I think is a year away. It's at least half to a year away. Okay, no way we're going to get that vaccine yet, but that treatment that from Gillette, if it has good result, they are doing study for it right now. But if they're doing a good, sometimes when the study is really good, they're going to just announce it. But right now, I'm not sure when is that going to be done. So if we have good news on that, this might bounce all the way up to 3200. But this is the hard resistant level. I don't think it's going to pass this. But unless they could control this virus, and then the Gillette work, and then they say the vaccine is good, and we might bounce all the way up here and then possibly go make a new high. But at this point, I don't think that's the case. Okay, but the bounce, the first stop is right here, and the second stop is right here. Okay, so that might in some way conclusion on that. I think we're gonna have a deep down, a flush down on Monday, but I don't think it's gonna break this level, and then we're gonna bounce. And then following that, depend how bad the news is, we might get up to here and then consolidate a little bit and then go down again. So that's what I'm thinking. In 2 weeks, I think 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to have more bad news. And New York is the outbreak next. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. So beside these, maybe, okay. So basically we kind of done with that. Let's take a look at crude oil too. So I think this also the leading indicator also. Oil, because look at this, right? This is 2000. This is the a monthly chart of oil, okay? And this is 2008 here, 32, and then this is like 2016, okay? And it's at $27. So right now, if it's break this level around $42, I think it's gonna go down to here, 226. So there's a potential play if you want to go, if you believe this shit is gonna cause a recession. You could short oil up to 26 point, and if it does, when it does go down up to here, it's a good level to start some long position. Okay, so this is one possible play here for oil. So this is something I think you have to keep out on watching this, okay? And then let me see the bond. Bond is crazy, you know, like this is way back, like all the way back. This is the lowest we have, you know. It's crazy. So at 2008, at this point, look at this. This is the lowest at 2008, right? And look at us now, like 2016 is right here and it's already broke this level. So look like, you know, we are going to negative interest rate possibly, because they say they're going to be cutting interest rate. But at this point, cutting interest rate, I'm not sure going to help, because the supply chain and all that stuff. And worst case scenario, there's going to be a second wave of this virus in China, because right now they send a lot of people back to work. And as you know, this virus, you know, has an incubation period of like up to 27 days. There are going to be people get infected, and then it's going to make everything worse. So China might completely shut down if the second wave happens. So that's something to think about also. The second wave, New York is the first thing I would think about in the short term, like 2-3 weeks from now. It's going to be New York. And then maybe longer than that, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, is the second wave from China. So that's the thing. That's what I'm afraid the most, is the second wave. And if this freaking virus mutate, it's going to be crazy. So that's something to look about. And you know what? They might start to cut interest rate all they want. I don't think it's going to help, because it's going to, people are going to be scared. Confidence, customer confidence, consumer confidence going to be down. The market already went down, so rich people are not going to start spending anymore. People are going to feel uncomfortable, and then if this gets worse, people are not going to come out and start spending. You know, they're going to lock themselves up at home. So, you know, this is going to cascade downward. So at this point, I'm expecting a bounce. And one more thing here is gold. Gold did drop like significant, like 5-6% on Friday. I'm not sure why. And then I look at this right here, you know, like 2008, before the recession, it did drop down, you know. But after the rate cut here, like after they cut, I think maybe 5 point to 0, and then gold started to go back up again. So at this point right now, gold might go down. But if we decided, if things get worse and they're going to cut rate, you know, this is the support right here for gold right here. It might go down to maybe 1375. And then that might be a bounce, maybe something where you can position yourself into. Okay, so at this point, maybe a month from now, we'll see, and then we'll see if it does reach this level or if it continue to go up. I'm not sure what's going to happen at this point. We don't know. But you know, if gold does go down to 1375 and things still are bad and possibly getting worse, I think it's a good place to start a position if it's retraced down to 1375. Okay. So at this point, guys, that's all I have for you guys. So if anything, to be honest, if you haven't get ready, please do. You know, get 2 weeks supply of food and waters, so just in case. Okay, so if anything, guys, hang on Monday and good luck. Okay.